them say how they have followed families for years, like they followed Martin Luther King's family. They've been following my family for years. They know every family that was attached to the empire.
Hmm.
And that's why they suppress certain ones of us. And they'll send their foot soldiers out to harass.
Thing because it was unpopular to be king or queen anymore. So they put a dummy in there, a figurehead, like in that movie that Denzel Washington did. Did any of y'all watch that?
What the movie?
The movie where these two brown people had a bank and they couldn't be brown, so they put a white guy in there and said, "No, we're gonna run things, but we're gonna be behind the scenes, and you do what we tell you." I
I
think
haven't
that's what's
seen it.
going on.
I
I
haven't
can't
seen
prove it, but I got my suspicions. Morlock Holmes is on the case.
Well, this is what I've been talking about. This is what I've discovered in my own situation. I found that to
Yeah,
be absolutely true.
Hmm,
yes,
I knew it. It's the only thing that makes sense. The narrative doesn't make sense. You know, the narrative they got doesn't make, if you actually invest, it doesn't make sense. It's full of lies and holes that just, the only thing that could happen is somebody's been supplanted at a certain point. I don't know what point or how long this has been going on, but I surmise it's not new at all.
Well, I don't know if you heard the show last week. I talked about it extensively last week.
I was listening,
Yeah.
and you confirmed what I had been believing the whole time.
Yeah, I can prove it. Yeah, it's
So
closely
who are these
related to
people?
me. It's
Who are
very
these people? I
closely
know
related to me. Huh?
Schwarzkopf is brown. Like when they split up Africa, everybody thinks people sitting at that table were white, but from what I've seen, is half those family crests are brown. The
It's
Germans, the French, the well, the Spanish weren't there yet, but
all
I
of
mean, all
those
these.
family crests are. It
Mhm.
ain't half, it's all of them.
And it ain't changed.
Nope.
Ain't nothing changed. They just put a different face in
It's
there.
never
We're
changed.
several generations later, so we don't know. We know what we've been told, but when you investigate, what you've been told does not make sense at all, unless what you just described is what's happening.
And the Pope is still praying to a so-called black Madonna
Right,
and a
right,
black Jesus.
right. And
Well, that's what
these
they've been
so-called black
taught.
people,
That's where they're getting their power from. They know who has the power. They have learned the hierarchy of power on the land. So they've been taught this, and they're mimicking their um their puppets. They're mimicking their puppet heads, telling them and teaching them how to. They came out of the cave with
mhm,
nothing. To remember this, they didn't have names, they didn't have anything. They had to be taught everything. So, knowing what I know, I knew they couldn't have had a hand up on us because they didn't know anything. They had all of this is going to be coming out soon in the literature and the books and stuff that I'm writing. But they have been props. So same thing going on today as it has always been. This
mhm.
we have been under the greatest illusion ever known to man.
Justinian deception.
We're dealing with the wickedest of the wicked and deceit. We are no longer dealing with them. This is why they come for me every day because they know that I'm on to them and I am in the line. I was born in the line of fire and I didn't even know it. These people been knowing the job and the task that I came here to do before I even knew it. They have astrologers. They study charts. They study people. They've been, you ever heard them say how they have followed families for years? Like they followed Martin Luther King's family. They've been following my family for years. They know every family that was attached to the empire.
Hmm.
And that's why they suppress certain ones of us. And they'll send their foot soldiers out to harass us. I'm telling you what I know. I've lived it. Still living it. I know what they do. They never stopped following us. The ones they couldn't kill, they killed off a lot of us. They killed off a lot of the heirs to the land. Those that they couldn't kill, they started, following us, trying to suppress us, blocking us at every turn in business, in the governmental entities, in court. All of that they have been controlling, and all they got to do is, and they have strategically put their people in these jobs, in these professions to hold the gate for them. And all it takes is a phone call, because every judge is a part of a secret society. Every clerk is a part of a secret society. Everybody working in government has a certain order to follow. And it's not, they don't have anything to do, even in Congress and the Senate. They have orders to follow. See what I'm saying? And that's why people don't understand why this vote is being swayed that way. Why is there so much fluff in these bills and money going out to here, there, and everywhere? Because they're giving orders. The people got to get fed. They have to do what they told to do. It don't have nothing to do with right or wrong. It don't have nothing to do with the people's house. They have never been about the people. Their main modus operandi is to take, destroy, be destructive, extract, be parasitic individuals off the people. That's all they have ever done. That's all they know. Identity theft, stealing, taking, and pillaging. I yield.
Empress,
Yes.
did you want to bring that up at this time, or do you want to talk about that later about
Oh, we'll go over how to extend the courts to Khalifa territory, Tonus, and I can assist you all in extending that and putting in a royal decree to support you and to make sure that you are covered fully in the way that you should be. But the verbiage has to be right. That's what I was talking about with Bernice Earl earlier.
talking about the court. Tony, remember we were talking about yesterday about the court?
Right. So I'll be reading the script, and of course, I wanted to check with her first because she knows the verbiage.
Yeah. We just wanted to make sure we move right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're in this tribe, so you have to do things in a certain fashion. So yeah, just run it past one of the administrators or myself, and so we can make sure everything is in alignment. Once you represent that reclamation and you represent our seal, you have to move in a certain fashion. That's what I'm asking everyone to take heed to. Ashe.
Yes, Your Majesty. No problem.
How's your son doing, Empress?
He's doing better. I'm in the active war right now still, so just bear with me. Everybody who is a part of the tribe, wanting to join the tribe and following our movement, just be patient and be there for us, with us, and keep us lifted up. We'll soon be out of this stage, but we're at the end of it. But I'm still in an active war right now.
Mm.
They still coming for me every day,
Ashe.
and that's physically and sorcery.
Mm.
The same families that we're talking about. So that's why I know that they're doing all of this. They're doing whenever their authority is challenged, and I notice this in my own work. Whenever I challenge their authority or send in a royal decree to stop something, like stop this mask wearing, stop this, genocidal acts, these acts of war against the people, crimes against humanity, and start charging these people and leaning them and doing the things that I do, I notice immediately afterwards, they start going on a tangent, like we see right here, like what I have up on the screen. Look at all of this. White supremacists who killed 10 in a mass shooting. Then this other one pulled off this lady, the female officers pulled off her clothes, the black lady, the so-called black lady. Yeah, it's terrorism. This is domestic terrorism. This is what I just charged them with. I just charged all of these orders with this. Knights of Columbus, Knights of Malta, Knights Templar, Ku Klux Klan, Scottish Rites, all of them got charged with domestic terrorism. This is an international thing, claim and charge that I've been putting them on them, but I just did this a couple of days ago too, again, because of this, and I charged the Black nobility families for orchestrating it, because that's who it is behind it.
So you know who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is. Right now, I'm not going to mention too much, but it is what's happening. That's what's been happening. And they do this to instill fear. Every time they feel like they're losing control over the masses, this is what they do to instill fear tactics in the masses of people.
They're gonna find out they're in the wrong era to be trying to instill some fear.
Yeah.
They got the wrong generation to be trying to do that with.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. But this is certain groups. They trying to deter the movement of us coming back into power. They don't want nobody to follow what we're doing. So they want to keep them scared. They want them to believe in this white boogeyman, that we better get in line. I don't want nobody coming to my church shooting. I don't want nobody coming to my job shooting. This is what they think is going to happen when they do stuff like this. It's like I was saying before, you dealing with a lower vibrational being, an adolescent who acts out when they don't get their way. That's what we're seeing right here.
But they think they're elite.
Pardon? Say it again.
But they think they're elite.
Yeah, well,
They don't act like they are.
no, this is the whole thing. They have stolen these places of power. The real people that's supposed to be in these places are not in these places. They don't act like this. They don't operate like this. This is how you know. These people have turned the world upside down with their BS. And because they stole superior knowledge and was able to control people, they feel like they always supposed to have that position and to be dominant over others. And that's what their aim is, to be dominant over others no matter what. Just like in my situation, How do you think you're gonna dominate over me? And it's my birthright to have what I'm supposed to have. And this is what they're used to doing. This is what their power has been all about. Stealing the identity of others and taking over their power. Just like they did it with the original Collins family. The Collins family was close to the empire, the Maxima family. These,
Barnabas Collins?
pardon me,
Collins?
you
The
said what?
Collins family? You said the
Kelowna,
Collins family?
Kelowna.
Oh.
Kelowna translate, that was the original name in Italy, translates to Collins in America.
Okay.
Kelowna. So it's a big thing that's coming out about this. These people that's been in power and running the Pentagon and running the government, they have not been the lawful heirs to do so. They came over here from Italy, these families, and they wreaked havoc over here and took over power. And they're still fighting for power as we speak, because we're waking up and a lawful heir to the Americanas estate has awakened. I mean, they had to do that though, because I would have never known. I would have never known. They had to come for me in the fashion that they did. I wouldn't have never, I probably would have eventually, but everything had to transpire in the way that it transpired. In order for all things to come to fruition. Go ahead.
All of us are connected.
Yeah. All of us in
So,
our tribe, some kind of way. Yeah. I've noticed that.
yeah. So how can one find, I mean, I have some idea of what I'm supposed to do. It involves property acquisition and banking and then, and a few other things. And I don't know anything about those things, so I'm having to learn all that stuff. But everything I need is provided. It's like it just falls in my lap almost. It's like if I ran away, I'm running in a circle right back to it. I can't get it's whatever. Anyway, so my question to you is, okay, now that everything's being exposed, is it because the people that are down for the evil, they're down. I can see that they're down straight up. They're down. And then there's the people who are deceived. Okay, so my question is, because Noble Drew Ali said there's going to be a few of them that'll be left to show us how to run government. Then everything will shut down. Then when we restart, it'll be in the favor of the Moors. And that about 18% of them, or some small percentage of them, were actually good and beneficial to us. So my question to you is, what do we do about that? Because there's a couple of people who, they're not Moors, they're white, but who like
We
totally
don't deal
helped.
with colors, Noble.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm so-called, I should say so-called, because I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, there have been some people who supposedly from the opposition side who totally been helping me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
just, I mean,
because everybody that's pale is not from the opposition side. Everybody that's dark is not from the opposition side. You know what I'm saying? It's just large numbers of those who are in control who are on the opposition side. Some dark and some pale face.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
oh, well, I'm seeing that. Definitely seeing that. I can't even bring this up around certain people in my family. You know? And I'm beginning to see why now, because it's exposing is what I believe. I mean, I can't prove that, but I think there's some conversos in my family. Let's just put it that way.
They gonna try to put a
If they in a
straitjacket.
secret order, if they're in a secret order, yeah, that's what it is.
Yep. Well, so see that because they're preachers. See, I'm a preacher's kid, so I've been seeing this stuff. I mean, a kid figure it out. But like now, a bunch of things that did make sense then totally make sense now.
All preachers are on the payroll to be paid to keep you blind, deaf, and dumb.
Yeah, they are. I can
The,
attest.
the 503C or 501(c)(3) I kind of know how to say it. The
All of that's
503C.
dissolved. All of that's dissolved
Yeah.
now. 501c3.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
of them are under the priesthood.
Mhm.
All of them
They're
are under the priesthood that I've been talking about with the Jesuits.
That's what order. Unum sanctum. That's what order.
Bloodsuckers.
Vampire.
Their job is to keep us docile and stagnant.
Well, I imagine the blood tastes the best that way.
Yeah, that's what they think. But I'm gonna
Oh,
tell you why they
so
start drinking the blood. It ain't about well, you know, they take these blood packs and all of that stuff when they in the brotherhood and things like that. But the drinking of the blood is to give these pale faces power. They're trying to get on our level energy wise.
it gives them that type of energy?
They can never be us, but it's giving them a boost of energy that they never had.
The wrong person got called savage.
Yeah, they turned everything.
You ain't never lied, bro.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they turned everything around. Everything that they were, they turned it around and made the masses believe it was the Indian, the dark skinned
Trading
savage.
places. Trading Places. That movie, Trading Places.
Yeah, they put
All
everything in there.
truth is
They
in
put
the
everything
movie.
out there for you. It's just for you to
You
pick up
can't
on it.
say you didn't know. They
Well,
have
now,
to put it
now
all
I
in the
do.
movies
I
and
thought it was
put it all
entertainment.
out, expose it, so that you can't say you didn't know. Just like Empr just said, all you have to do is open your eyes and start believing.
Yeah, well, I think a certain amount of people don't want to see because to see means you got to give up all that illusion of, the job and the money and the possessions and the freedom.
They've been on, excuse the expression, but they've been on the breast for too long.
Well, you remember in the Matrix, that one guy who turned them in, he sat there and said it. He said, I know this is fake. I know it's bullshit, but I want a position as king in the bullshit world.
Right.
I thought that was an anomaly, but it appears that that's a common belief, practice, whatever. I don't know. I'm getting really disappointed in man.
I'm trying to tell you. That's where I've been. That's where I've been for a minute, Tony. It's so sad. It's so sad that this even exists. This type of behavior even exists on the planet. I've just been saying that for the last few weeks that I cannot believe. I never knew it was so much wickedness in the world. I never knew this. It's crazy.
Well, because it doesn't exist, we didn't believe that it. I mean, but Creator Show just showed me that that shit is real. Oh my God. And it could be because we've been neglecting it too. A bunch of us got bought off with materialism. Looked the other way. We saw that, yeah. Okay, everybody in this group right now has got some gray hairs, right? And you remember when you was going to school and there was only 20 or 30 kids that would disappear. And then the next year it was 10,000. And then the next year it was 50,000. And then the next year it was 100,000. And you didn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in a way, we can sit here and like all this stuff, but in a way, we're kind of responsible. And I'm just holding myself accountable now because I feel I got a second chance now with this. But I'm not going to make any pretenses that I didn't get bought off with the shiny thing. Okay.
Well,
Them shoes don't fit me, Noble.
that's what the mass numbers of sorcery operations are for. To keep us dumbed down.
Mm-hmm.
These people been moving towards world manipulation for 80 years. They've been
So,
moving towards having a world dominance. And
so these aren't humans, are they?
pardon?
These aren't humans, are they?
They humans. They just wicked. They came during the
Because-
time of Saturn. And so they came in during the time of Saturn, and then they were taught these things. And so when you're taught these things, it's a learned behavior, and that's all you know. So the generations, the forefathers and mothers who taught them this instilled this in them, and they was in power when they instilled it in them, and this is how they maintain power throughout their generations up till now. So if you learn this as a child, you don't think there's nothing wrong with it. That's what creates the
Well,
psychosis.
I think that they're not us. I think they look like us, but they're from somewhere else. I don't know if another planet or another dimension or something. And I don't think that they die. Hear me out now. It'd be a
They
lot
die.
easier.
Oh, they dying. Trust
No,
me
I'm
and
saying
believe
that- I
me,
think
they
that
dying.
I'm saying I think that they live longer than us.
Well,
You know what I
that's the
mean?
ones. That's the ones who drink the blood and eat the essence and kill and take the spinal fluid. These certain things that they do to try to live longer. Exactly what they do, but they not sub. They are subhuman. They're not even. You can tell by their behavior that they
So how
are
did they
not.
short our lifespan?
How did they what?
Shorten our lifespan? Because by all the records I'm looking at, we used to live longer.
What do you
What happened?
mean? You don't know? You don't know what happened? You
I
don't know
think it
what
might be
happened.
the-
You
I
don't
think
you
the
don't
food
know what
that-
happened every day. Chemtrails falling, poison in the food, vaccines, immunizations, all of that's what all of that's for.
Hmm.
That's how they
Changing
lessen
diet.
our lifespan.
Hmm.
They putting it in the air. They putting it in the food. They've been controlling everything.
It's just now we know.
Aspartame in almost every product, and the USDA saying it's good to eat. You tell me how we dying.
High fructose corn syrup.
All of it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything they do is set up to lessen our power and to diminish our minds and to take us out of here early. That's their whole modus operandi. They've been behind the Planned Parenthood. They've been behind Bill and Melinda Gates.
Mm.
We think it's these pale faces. No, it's people that look like you and me
Who are funding them?
who giving them
Dumbing
orders. They
down the
all a part of an order. No, they make them use their money because they had to. The only way they could get in position is to be under this Jesuit order, to be under this boule. The boule is the top order.
Mm.
The boule is the so-called black nobility families who run that. That's who all of these people was. Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King, all of them was in it. They
Right,
killed them. They
that's why they
killed
always
them because they wasn't down for doing all this stuff to the people. The boule and all of that didn't start out that way. That's what I keep telling y'all. All of the things that was under the empire and ruling class, the black nobility who was ruling things righteously, none of it, all of that stuff they're doing right now, all of those groups were set up, not all of them, but most of them. They were set up, but they weren't set up to control and to do wickedness. It
Stuck on
was
black.
it was a way to maintain rulership and power and keep everything in order in a proper fashion, not to go against the people of the land. This is a direct violation. Everything they took the power and they did the opposite with it. This is why we've been in the trouble we've been in. Because they have all the knowledge, but they're using it for wicked. They're not using the knowledge to uplift. So this is where we at. This is where we getting back. We getting back everything now.
Well, let's not be like them. That's for sure.
There's no way. There's no way we can. That's why we're here. This is why they come from my life every day. Because I'm not down with the BS. And I'm putting them in their place. No, at no matter what cost. I've always been that way. Stubborn. And I would say, why do I get myself into this? I can't, it's something in me that can't help it. I challenge them. I put them in their place. I make them respect me, you know, and this is my job. Now I know fully what my job is on this planet. Now it's game over. I just had to realize it. And Neo, like I had to realize what was really going on. And, you know, now that I know, I mean, they've been trying to get me all my life, but now that I know, oh, you really not going to get me now. And it's game over. Because my ancestors work with me every day. And you have to be still, you have to be quiet, and you have to wait to hear from them. That's how you gain power. That's how you get everything back that they stole. I don't have to see it on a piece of paper to know what happened. I don't have to see it on a piece of paper. Nobody has to teach me nothing on how to protect myself, because they tell me, they in my ear every day, now more than ever. I hear the voices. It's so amazing. I hear the voice. I hear my great father, Emperor Moses Maximus, talking to me. Like, what are you doing? You have superior knowledge. Take these people out. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh man, let me get in gear. It's like that. It's getting to the point where I don't have nothing on. It's at the point. It's been like 3 months, nothing on, no TV. Everything is unplugged. I'm zoning into my ancestors' frequency. I don't hear nothing but them, because it's critical right now for me. My life depends on it. My phone has not been on. I have not been dealing with nobody. I've been dealing with the frequency coming through my, through my ancestors into me, telling me what to do next. Like I said, it's an act of war still going on. And it's like me against the world. 13 families of nobility and all of their orders after me. The Boule, Sisters and Brothers of the White Cloth, Daughters and Sons of the Nile, Daughters and Sons of Isis, Fraternal Order Firemen, Fraternal Order Paramedics, Fraternal Order of Police, Knights Templar, Knights Malta, Knights Columbus, Ku Klux Klan, Skinheads, Scottish Rites. All of them are planted around me. It's crazy. But, the ancestors, they gave me the tools. They put me here for a reason, so I can learn how to defend and protect the empire. These people been doing sorcery. This is how they was able to conquer us. They teaching me everything. They taught them everything they know. So ain't no way they gonna let them beat me. They learned everything they know from my ancestors. And they didn't teach them everything. They showing it to me. That's why I'm gonna prevail, because it's a job that has to be done. Everything has to be brought back into balance and in proper order on the planet. So they tell me everything that happens in my life is not for me. And they also told me, your life is not, things that happen to you is for you to help other people. If you don't put that first, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to keep having a hard way to go. You can't be selfish. So this is how they talk to me. You have to put the people first. This is why you came back here. This is why you came back here. So the things that's happening to you been happening to everybody else. Now you are here to protect them. So when you do a ritual, when you do protection, you have to do it for everybody. This is what's going to change things. This is what's going to bring balance. This is what your life is for. It's not because things not happen to you because you did something wrong or the Most High God is frowning upon you. That's not why it's happening. It's happening for you to learn, for you to see, and for you to know that this is going on and this is something that has to be stopped. That's why it's happening to you. So now that I know that, it's making my life easier. A lot easier. It's real out here, family. And it's not easy. This life is not easy. I say all the time, I chose to do this. I made a contract with the Heavenly Society to come back and do this. Wow. This is not easy. But this is what it is. It's what I signed up for. Long before I came in the flesh. We get done this time. I can't tell you that. Learning the family line I come from. This is what our lives was always about. Come from the line of the Christ. And your life is not for you. Your life is for inspiration to others and to uplift others. So that's the same thing with my son. It's an example that have to be made. All the trials and tribulations that I've come out of is for inspiration and to teach and show others that this is possible when you stand in your right and proper place. These things, all these things happen to me is against all odds. I'm still standing here. Against all odds. Trust me when I tell you. And I'm standing here alone, seemingly alone. And that's the way the ancestors wanted it. Like you need to be here alone so you can learn what you need to learn and you can know that you're actually never alone. And you can defeat any enemy, any obstacle. And these are the lessons you have to learn before you can get your reward, before you can not even get your reward, but before I can attain the things of the empire. Before I can attain these things, I have to learn, I have to know how to protect it once I get it. I have to know that I can travel the world and not worry about being assassinated. This is what they've been teaching me for the last 2 years in this house. These people try to get to me that came and opened my door so many times, came in so many times, and had to turn right back around and walk out. Couldn't carry it through. But I had to see that to know that I'm protected and know how. Everything they teach me, they show me what to do, and then they show me in my face how. what, how, and when. They show me everything inside and out. How did I keep them out? That I was being that I had a price on my head before I even knew I had a price on my head. I was being protected. I was being covered. Now that I know, at first it was just subtle. Now it's overt. They don't care. Try to do all kind of stuff. Come over here, tear up my house, take all the paint off of the stairs. They went around my whole house and took vinyl pieces. I'm gonna take a picture, show it to y'all. They went around. This is what sorcerers do. They try to take something of yours so they can control you or get to you or send their spirits to you. So they took all of this stuff, all of the vinyl from around the bottom of my house. This is how elementary they are. I was like, I'm dealing with adolescents every time. So I done spent a lot of man hours going behind these people, cleaning up behind them. All the little smears and witchcraft they done left in my house, around my house. It's just like, tedious. I'm dealing with lower vibrational beings who think that they have some kind of power because they have knowledge. So now my house look a mess because there's holes. They dug holes. They snatched pieces of the vinyl from around the whole house. There's holes everywhere around my house. I guess they said to themselves, well, whatever. We don't care if she notices. She'll be dead soon. So they think. This is the kind of stuff they do. They used to do it to my car. Tear up the leather, tear up the interior, just snatch pieces of material off, just tear my stuff up.
Yeah, I seen them making them scratches on your car.
Yeah. They just violators who need to die. Nobody should have to deal with this type of nonsense, a nuisance. They are the real nuisance and menaces to society. That's who it is. People that do stuff like this. The people that order things like this. Because they're insane. The more it doesn't work, the harder they try because they feel like it's always worked for them. They can't figure out why it's not working with me. So they try harder and they tear up more stuff. Yeah, they took all the paint. They scratched my car up real good when I first got it, my Charger. Took all the paint off of it. So they take these little pieces and they go and do their witchery and their sorcery. And they think, that's going to make me have a car accident or that's going to make something happen to me. This is their intention. So it is like dealing with nuisance children. You got a bunch of grown adults walking around like adolescents doing stuff that's been ordered to do stuff. That's crazy. But this is why
wearing all black.
yeah.
It'd be hot as hell. They be wearing all black.
Yeah, those are the ones who work for the priest. That's what I learned. They be wearing all black. Yeah. Mass shootings and white supremacy, is there a correlation? Yeah, it's a correlation. Another mass shooting in El Paso, Texas that killed 22 people on Saturday is the deadliest white supremacist attack in the United States in more than 50 years, according to Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism. These are people that's just trying to scare the population.
It's the Klan. They're on the move, and they're trying to start this so-called race war that they want.
They've been
want
trying to
to get
come.
going.
They've been trying to come here, but they've been getting stopped. They've been trying to come here for a minute. They definitely have. But this is who's behind it. They losing power. This is how, they want to try to control the masses. And then also they want to create diversion. All these people got to go. See, all of these people been ordered to go. This is why the Most High told me 2 years ago, get these fraternal orders and these Ku Klux Klan and all of these groups off of this land. This is what I've been ordering for 2 years. Get them out of here. They got them out of here. They came back on ships. So this is how I knew it was somebody really high up helping them, and then there was also black nobility helping them. Navy ships brought them back. They took them. They got them out of here by mass numbers. 1,500 people those Navy ships hold. They brought them back after some months, and Donald Trump had a lot to do with it. He was funding a lot of it. So this is all the things I've been dealing with when y'all haven't been seeing me. I'm dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot. The ancestors bringing the messages. I'm giving orders, bringing it to the authorities who can handle this situation, and keeping it under control the best way we can. One of the comments of these white supremacists in this report right here. This is a fight to reclaim my country from destruction. Oh man. These people. New America. That's my terminology right there. The new America. The source, New America. Jihadists. So these jihadists, whoever it is in the Islamic world, they work for the Islamic order. They all under the Jesuit order. There's the Islamic order. There's a Jesuit order, which is the Jews or Judaism. And there's the Catholics, the Catholic order, which is their spiritual assassins is the Rosicrucian. So they have spiritual assassins and they have physical armies, foot soldiers. The Scottish Rites, Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, all of them work for the Catholic priests, work for the Pope. And the Pope gets orders from black nobility in Italy. So all of this I learned because I had to deal with them in my own situation. So when they couldn't get me with the sorcery all these years, they came full-fledged military style trying to get to me. So it's definitely an eye-opener to what's really been going on in the world, and it's just sad to know that these black nobility families don't care about, their own kind. They don't care. And they don't consider us their own kind. They don't consider others their own kind because remember, they're black nobility and they've been taught, elitist type of ways and thoughts, Illuminati, the illuminated ones. But, their actions prove to be wicked and destructive, and they have to go. Okay. Now this right here, female police officer is left naked and forcibly searched by police chief. That's crazy. These people. Dante Wright's mother. And this is the story of the young man that was killed senselessly and unlawfully by a police officer. So these black nobility families put these it ain't even letting me show it. Look at that. They put these families, these black nobility families give orders and put these pale faces up to doing it, so we would think it's coming from them. They've been some
technology.
They've been some crafty mother scrunches, but not that crafty.
Technology.
Not crafty enough. Officer who fatally shot Dante Wright charged with second degree, and I bet you, if nobody is watching and bird dogging the situation, they convicting them and letting them out the back door, because most of them are mercenaries who's not even on the actual roster and payroll for the police station. They call them in to do whatever they want them to do in a police uniform, just like they've been doing around here with sheriffs who are not real sheriffs, making police sheriff cars and dressing them up like sheriffs, and they're not sheriffs, they're not sheriff deputies. They've just been doing whatever they want to do and thinking nobody's none the wiser. I see everything, especially now that I'm monitoring it and I'm paying attention and I'm giving orders, because that's what my position is in life, in this family line that I'm from. Now I watch everything and I'm able to make a difference. And I know what's going on. I know what they do. They've tried it to do it to me, to my son. These people are out of line, they're out of hand, and they're going fast. And the same way they came is the same way they're getting out of here. By fire and by force, the spiritual force of the ancestors. So this is real sad, all of this been going on. I just pulled this up because I seen something on Instagram. So I just said, let me see what's going on. This happened 12 days ago, 14 days ago. Yeah, every time they feel like they losing power, they start on a tangent like this. These are ritual kills. 1, 2, try to invoke fear. 3, want to control the masses and create diversions. So we looking over here while they doing something else, planning another attack, trying to gather Scottish rights to come to North Carolina, to come to Imperial City, to try to get this lady out of here that's giving us problems, that realized who she is and giving orders that everybody got to take. Get her, stop her.
Islam. And as soon as they say that, I tell my ancestors, we need help. We need to destroy these. Bring your fire, bring your tornadoes, your hurricanes, your earthquakes, crush, kill, and destroy them. They are there. They cannot live here any longer. They must go. And I see so much bad weather, things happening for the good, because they think they can just get away. They cannot get away. Their families are going down with them.
Yeah, they tore up all of Scotland a couple months back. They had a terrible, terrible storm in Scotland. Yeah, the ancestors will touch down a tornado on them in a minute. Or a tsunami. Yeah.
They
All right.
might get by, but they cannot get away.
What don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. And they in the rinse cycle right now.
I said,
Yeah, family. Well, we can have open dialogue. These are some of the topics I wanted to discuss. So you all are free to discuss whatever you like. I yield.
Okay, the line is open.
If you all don't mind, you can go on YouTube and take some of the questions and talk about the commentary and questions that some of the watchers may have. Ashe.
I'm really not familiar.
Well, the chat is open. You just go to it and you can see it.
Okay. See nothing in the chat.
I'm talking about on YouTube. You go to YouTube, you see a chat right there on the right, people commenting. You go to YouTube and pull up Imperial Lectures, like we about. They took over militarily. So when they took over all the military and all the military bases. So they've been behind the scenes running things because they own those military bases and they created the corporate fiction of Department of Defense and all of that. So everybody, and that's one of the things that they have done to control people. Once they get them in that contract, that's a life contract. Have it open for you to come back and they can try to use you to do their bidding or take out a contract to spy or take out a contract on somebody's life. The first ones they're going to come to is those that was in the military that had that contract with them. So that being said, you know, I'm fully aware of it. I'm fully aware of it. And there's those that have been close knit in our tribe that has happened to. So real soon, as soon as I clear my plate, we got to have a vote. One of them is absolutely no vote that I already removed. But we'll have a vote and give that, you know, that noble opportunity to speak amongst the founding members, and we'll go from there. But Empress don't play that. This ain't no plaything. And my ancestors have taken many of them out, and they will take care of the business. So be careful. Don't be handled. You know, these people send people to handle you, find out information, because they thick. They've been running everything, and everybody then been to the military. Most of the people have been to the military. That's a way for them to control what goes on the land. Force everybody into the military. At one time, they had a draft making people get into the military. That's that ritual stuff, taking your first son, making them be in the military. But they doing that for wicked. How about now the Empress will do it for the righteousness of the land?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali put a stop to that
Hmm.
when he said he ain't going. Back in, what was that?
He had to pay a lot of money to get out of that. Trust me and believe me.
No, he went to jail for 5 years. He went to
Oh,
jail for 5 years, and
okay.
then he got out after he did his time, and they couldn't touch him because he didn't want to go because religious conviction,
Mm-hmm. Did he do the
religious
full
belief.
5?
He did the full 5,
Wow.
and then they let him
I
out.
didn't
They let
know.
him out, and then he went back to boxing.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go over there because why should he go and kill somebody in another country that he didn't even know when the people over here don't even treat
He
him any
said
type of way with
Viet
respect?
Cong ain't never called him nigga. Why should he go fight? Some people that look like him when his battle and fight is right here in America,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
it's
is.
still going on.
So is. That's what I had to tell the Pentagon. It's no battles and no wars nowhere but here. Y'all can stop all of that and deal with what we got to deal with right here. The war is right here.
That was practice for this. All that other stuff, all those other wars, that was practice for now.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've been training them. They've been training them young too.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't got them doing these youngins. They teach they
School of the Americans.
man, it's crazy. They teach their youngins.
Make it stronger. That's all they did.
They teaching them young. You breaking up.
17 years old.
You breaking
Oh,
up.
set up. I'm
Sound like you underwater.
Okay, so I walk around. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
That's better.
Hello?
Still doing a little.
I was walking around sweeping.
Still doing
I was
it.
saying that. Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What was I talking about? Don't laugh. I got memory loss. It's short-term memory loss. What was I saying?
You were saying about what you talking about the boxing there?
He was talking about Muhammad Ali's return from or not wanting to go to Vietnam.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, you know, all they're doing is giving us a training and teaching us how to fight. So, you know, I seen a video with this brother who was talking about the shootings that was going on, and he said that if they think that we're just gonna roll over and let us, you know, just let them continue doing what they're doing, it's not gonna, this generation, it's not gonna happen. You know, he said he just got out the military, he knows how to fight, and he ain't turning the other cheek. This was on, I think he did this on a, it wasn't on YouTube, it was on Instagram. That's what it was on, Instagram.
Excellent.
So it's a lot of brothers coming out of the military, you know, they ain't gonna be playing around. It's not gonna be a joke.
Yeah.
And when I got this information that the Klan was on the move, I said, yeah, let the Klan be on the move. Klan can be on the move, but they're gonna have to deal with people who's been in the military. They ain't gonna be playing. It's not gonna be a joke.
Clan come around here. Clan lives around here. They done moved them around here. They try to come around my house. They lighten the ass. The ancestors tear them up every time. They can't even get close to my house. Half hybrid, 9 human beings. See, this is what the ancestors wanted me to learn. These people are lower vibrational beings. You can't come in my realm. I don't care how many they have. They already dead. I know how to secure myself. And just because somebody have a will to kill, don't mean it's gonna manifest. That's what they're teaching me. That's what I had to learn. My will is way more. My will is beyond any negative, hateful will that comes trying to do anything. This is the power I had to learn, what I've been harnessing.
Hey, Brother Tonis.
Yes.
What year was that the Klan tried to march in LA and got beat down? You remember that? It was funny.
I'm from Atlanta, and I remember like in 1980, 81 or 82, when the Klan marched there, and then the next year, about 10,000 of us showed up.
I thought you was out here in California. I forgot you said you came from Atlanta.
No, the Klan used to march in Atlanta every year with the police protecting them.
They tried to march in LA one year, man, and they got beat down.
Yeah, we didn't think it would work out here, because there was only like 30 or 20 or 30 of them when they came to Atlanta. So I was like, there's no way that's gonna. I knew that was, if they tried bringing it out here, they're just gonna get beat, because they already got their racists out here. They're not gonna give up their stronghold to some creeps.
Yeah. Well, they came out here in California, I think in the 1930s, 1940s. They moved out here, and they haven't been able to do anything out here in California ever since they've been out here. I mean, you know, other than
not publicly
taking the brothers out on the under, you know, doing stuff on the bridge, and all them stuff was happening on the bridges, or throwing them over the freeway overpass, stuff like that. You know, to individuals, but on a mass scale, they ain't been able to do nothing.
Well, they come through the church, you know that, right?
Yeah, they do the church thing and the church fires and all that stuff.
And they have a book called the Koran. You really should get it and read it. It shows that their meetings, it shows what the name of the positions in the meetings, what they do, what their duties are. And you just need to know that, because they got your book, believe me.
No, they ain't got my vote. I don't vote.
I'm saying any religion or thing, but they already know. They started, well, an element of them started all this anyway to control everybody. So they got their foot up. Any of those religions that you see, you already know that, though.
Yeah.
But that's where the Klan comes from. From what I've seen, is they get through the church. So when you're sitting in that church, somebody's sitting in there in one of them suits, or several of them are the ones who are doing. You don't know who's under that hood. They might even look like us.
Yep.
We assumed that they were palm colored.
Yep.
You know. So, because remember, like Empress was saying, most of those lynchings and stuff we saw, those were emperors and empresses that they were stealing, escheating their estates, taking their land. And you didn't know this, just like somebody's getting lynched. And that's probably why there was a crowd there gathered so they could go back to their estate and loot it and have a souvenir.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing since they left the cave, and they started in Europe. They learned this tactic and taught it to the fake Jews. The Jews came out the cave also, but this is what they would do, and they still do it to this day, but they do it in a different fashion. They would now they do identity theft. You can do that electronically, but they would take the people's identity. They would follow the prominent families that's ruling on the land, follow them, kill them off, maybe keep one of the females in the family line, and take their identity and go take over their land in their estate and assume their names. So this is where you get a lot of these. You got pale faces and you got Asiatics with the same names. And then the ones that they brought out the cave, who became their army, Ku Klux Klan, Scottish Rite, Knights of Columbus, Knights Templar, all of that happened in Europe. They cultivated them in Italy, and then they came over here to America. And they gave their names, these black nobility families gave their names to the pale face puppets who they have taken in, and they love them. They love them more than they love people of the land here, because that's their pets. That's who they, help them defeat and take over around the world. So, like I said before, the black nobility family, the Palavinici, they have a pale face clan with the same name that works for them. And they work in concert. They take orders. They was running the Vatican, all of that. That's how deep it is. But they've been doing this identity theft, taught them how to do that. So they came over here doing the same things, taking over the families, the prominent families, taking on their names and stealing the land from them. And then that's how they moved into position and land in the South. Plantations and stuff.
Get all that back.
And then what they was doing is enslavement. Because of the slave trade, they was taking like Tony's just mentioned, and they got it in a movie called The Empr. I don't know if y'all seen that movie, The Empr. This is what they were doing. Taking the noble families, the people who own the land and who had titles of nobility on the land here, snatching them and turning them into slaves and taking them across the water, and then bring them back as slaves. Change the maps so when they got back here, they would never know where their land was, even if they, got free. Because now they have a system set up, and the map don't read what his paperwork says where his land is.
Wow.
Taking Asiatic kings, queens, and emperors and empresses and snatching them into slavery, mixing them in with the 3/5 that came from West Africa, who are not of the same bloodline. They're 3/5. They're not considered human beings. That's why they got a 3/5 law for them. The Scots is 3/5 also. They got the pale 3/5 and they have the dark skin 3/5. It's deep and it gets deeper. But those 3/5 don't have a soul. That's why they out here. They don't have a connection. That's why they out here doing all of this hatred and destruction and killings because they don't really have a feeling or a soul or a conscience that will prevent them from doing this stuff. All they know is to take orders. It's deep. The books will be deeper. The ancestors, they had books coming out. It's deep. It blows my mind. It blows my mind, and then it just pieces everything together for me. Once they give it to me, I just say, "Wow." Then I divinate the whole way through to make sure I'm getting full clarity on everything that I'm getting. And it's just crazy. It's just, but it adds up now. Everything is adding up now because I know when I was young, going to church with my grandparents, I just didn't feel comfortable. It was just a lot that just didn't feel right. And so now, fast forward today, I know why. Because it was a foundation it was set up on was ill-gotten, fraudulent, and set up on lies. And children can feel that quicker than adults can. Because by the time you get to be an adult, you acclimated into it. Most of the time you beat down. They broke your spirit. But a child, they come here knowing already. So some of us been able to retain our childlike spirit and not be tainted by the things of the world and force feeding us something that our spirit knows is not right. That's the difference between us that's in this tribe. And those are the ones that's gonna make the change in the world. Ashe, I yield.
Shit.
I say they're not afraid. They don't want to live the life that we have lived thus far. They know it's a difference. It can be different.
You talking about the children? Matriarch? I can't hear you if you're trying to say something.
Oh, yes. 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 Oh,
Yep, as they say, out of the mouths of babes. They say what they feel. What they sense. How's your connection over there, matriarch?
I'm having problems.
I can hear you now.
Oh, I turned off the YouTube because I was having so much double talk, and I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. You hear me now?
Yep, go ahead. I can hear you. Turn your mic up. Can't hear you. Are you trying to talk?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to figure out why my phone is acting up. Its speaker is all the way up.
Well, if there's no other comments or conversation, guess we'll end it early today. Not necessarily early, but sometimes we go to 2 and 3 in the morning.
Hey, can anybody see in my fire? Look on the bottom right hand. What do you guys see? I just noticed that.
On your picture?
Uh-huh. On right hand on the bottom, what do you see? In the fire. Clear as day. Anybody see a face?
Can you enlarge it a little?
The picture? Nah, how do you do that?
Oh, I was wondering if you could.
I don't think so. But you could just circle the whole bottom of the fire, circle it, and there's a face on the right hand side in the fire.
I see that.
Can you see
I
that?
see that, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of face is that?
A monkey or a lion?
Look like a monkey or a caveman? 2 eyes, the nose, the mouth.
Yeah, a monkey. Oh, yeah.
That's a trip, man. That's clear as day. I just noticed that. In the fire.
That's the troglodyte nigger fairy.
I don't know what it is, but I just noticed that. I'm like, wow, man. I don't know what fire that was. That was almost a year ago, wasn't it? AAA, was that about a year ago? It's been on here for about a year now, huh?
I guess.
Clear as day, man. Golly. I'm looking at the fire as it being like a either a bird,
Or dragon.
yeah, because he got the beak on the top, like his beak is open with the bird with the like a peacock with the on the top of his head, and the things, his peacock feathers curled on his head. He got the long neck, just a big bird. But then I just now look at the bottom and said, well, there's a face at the bottom. I didn't catch that. I usually catch that.
It's a fire.
Moors of the empire, cancel, remove, and destroy any and all altars that have been made in our image and likeness, and my image and likeness. And that means any dolls, any pictures, anything that looks like my appellation is now destroyed forever. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, and we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, the Aborigine Moors of the Empire, break, remove, and destroy all sorcery and negative rituals that have been brought against us in the astral plane and spirit realm. All spells, curses, hexes, and negative rituals are now bound up, destroyed, and sent back to the cinders forever with death and curse. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, and we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, the Aborigine Moors of the Empire, cut, sever, and destroy all spiritual agreements and contracts that we have entered into knowingly and unknowingly that has hindered the Moors, that has hindered my life, my family's lives, past, present, and future. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, cancel, destroy, dissolve any and all attacks brought against me in the dream state that may have attached itself to me or my family. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, cancel, destroy, and dissolve any and all attacks brought against me in the dream state that may have attached itself to me or my family of the Moors. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, break all generational curses brought against me and my family of the Moors. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, break all generational curses brought against me and my family of the Moors. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, break all generational curses brought against me and my family of the Moors. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, cut, sever, and destroy, cut, sever, and cancel all soul tie agreements and contracts made along my family line that are ungodly and do not serve our highest and best good. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, and we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, release, bring down the wealth, riches, and gold held for me, held for us, in the astral plane, the spirit realm, in this plane of things made manifest. Let it rain down to our palms in the physical manifestation. Let it rain down forever. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, and we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, bring down the wealth, riches, and gold, held for me, held for us, in the astral plane and spirit realm, and in this plane of things made manifest. Let it rain down to our palms right now, ancestors. Let it rain down to our palms forever. I, Nobilis Matriarch Amila Amitiel at Nebe, And we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, the Aborigine Moors of the Empire, the true bloodline, declared that all these beings that continue to sit in our seats of power shall resign, be removed, and we offer them no repentance, no repentance, no repentance for their sins against the Most High Elohim's words. And the Aborigine Moors, landlords of the land of Mu, they have been praying to our deities, and our deities will not accept any of their prayers any longer, because we, the Moors, have risen. Osiris will not accept any repentance for their sins. Goddess Isis would not accept any repentance for their sins. King Solomon will not accept any repentance for their sins. King Tut will not accept any repentance for their sins. Hathor will not accept any repentance for their sins. These people have been shut out and their time is up, and we know it, they know it. It's time for them to take some water or take some dirt. They shall be removed from this land. I, Nobilis Matriarch Camila Amitiel Adlabay, and we, the Imperial Cherokee Nation of Moors, the Aborigine Moors of the Empire, declare that all impostors, fiduciaries, trustees, and beneficiaries of the U.S. Corporation and all political bodies within that have been over our vast estate, that have stolen our land, shall be removed. And that means all governors, all mayors, all city councils, all registered deeds, all these clerks and people that think they got a good government job, these people shall be removed because they have been committing treason against us all this time, whether they knew it or not. They took the job and everything that goes with it goes with it. And turn over the keys to the White House and Buckingham Palace to the Moors that created them. All those secret societies holding on to our words left for us by our ancestors, our lost books, our hidden culture, and the knowledge of our connection to our cosmic and earthly creators. Our ancestors who left us an inheritance of teachings and instructions on how to run this government and run this empire. We are in the top seat, and it's all because of Empress Nenti that these things belong to us, and they're coming back. They have come back in our hands. These violating imposters must correct their wrongs, or else all violators shall be punished, pursuant to the Aborigine Moors Charter and Fee Schedule, and their heirs, 7 generations plus, shall be cursed and be made to pay back their forefathers' debt to we, the Aborigine Moors, and our heirs only in perpetuity, and so on till infinity. So it is, so it is, and so it shall be. Ashe, 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 Ianifa Empress Nenti. Moors,
Ashe.
it is important, Moors, for us to pull on our ancestors for power. This is why the imposters aim to kill all inhabitants who they consider so-called witches, because they possess powers through the practice of ancestral magic. Niagara Falls was a known landmark where they threw Asiatic Aborigine men, women, and children over into the falls because of their powers. Thus came the name Niagara Falls, derived from the word Niger. The feminine variation translates to Niagara. The imposters have always changed 1 or 2 letters of the original indigenous words belonging to the Aboriginal inhabitants, trying to throw us off. FYI, the words Niger, Negus, Negas are all derivatives of an ancient word describing Asiatic royalty. Moors, I propose that we do this prayer daily while invoking our ancestral magic and see what transpires, knowing in our hearts that it is already done. Pay close attention to the news. Remember, Moors, one of us in alignment can push back 1 million who are not. Excuse me. One of us in alignment can push back 1 million who are not. One of us in alignment can push back 1 million who are not. Pass this on to all Moors. Let's come together to see a swift change. Hashtag power moves, hashtag money moves more. Ashe, 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 Ianifa Empress, Countess of Mecklenburg. Islam?
Ashwa.
Thank you, matriarch.
Islam, you're welcome.
You going next, Noble Burns Earl?
That's 3.
Oh, okay. Did it 3. All right, perfect.
Me,
Okay.
Tonus, and then AAA.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me get the grand consensus on what you all think about what's been going on lately. Go ahead, you go first, matriarch. What can you see what I have on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. How about all of these random shootings and killings and these white supremacists that are doing a lot of lewd acts against Asiatics. And here we have this Marjorie Taylor Greene that insists the mass shootings are they should not be race related. They shouldn't be about race, is what she's saying. So let me hear your commentary on this whole situation, if you don't mind.
She is out of order. I'm just seeing this for the first time. She is out of order. Their media can say anything they want. They're trying to sway the people's minds to make it look like it's not much to shout about. That's horrible. That is horrible. So what's going to happen is it's going to continue. So-called blacks against so-called whites. It's going to continue. This is nothing new. These people take orders to do things and they go out and do it. That's why we want them off of our land, because they are treasonous.
Who do you think giving them these orders to do this?
Klan.
So what do you
say
think?
The Klan because I have inside scoop on who's doing it, and I was told that Klan's on the move. Klan's behind it, and this person that's gave me this information is very credible.
So that goes back to the Jesuits, the Scottish Rites, the Freemason, the York Rites, all these type people, the skinheads, all these type people who they use to do their bidding. And don't forget about the black-eyed
priest.
Thank you. My goodness, I didn't know what to call the creature. Yes, all these type people.
That's the 3/5. Yeah, but okay, so what
about the loyalty?
What do y'all think about this? Tony, what do you think?
I personally believe that a secret black royalty runs it, or so-called black royalty runs everything still.
Okay, bingo. Keep going.
Because black being the, or dark being the dominant gene, and there being white people running things now, and we see these white, so-called white people are taking orders from somewhere, but nobody's asking who's giving them the orders, even Trump. And we suppose it's somebody that looks like them, but what if it's not? What if it's
Right.
somebody that looks like us, who's been hidden for generations? Because a long time ago, they started this white supremacy thing because it was unpopular to be king or queen anymore. So they put a dummy in there, a figurehead, like in that movie that Denzel Washington did. Did any of y'all watch that?
What the movie?
The movie where these two brown people had a bank and they couldn't be brown, so they put a white guy in there and said, "No, we're gonna run things, but we're gonna be behind the scenes, and you do what we tell you." I
I
think
haven't
that's what's
seen it.
going on.
I
I
haven't
can't
seen
prove
it.
it, but I got my suspicions. Morlock Holmes is on the case.
Well, this is what I've been talking about. This is what I've discovered in my own situation. I found that to
Yeah.
be absolutely true.
Yes.
I knew it. It's the only thing that makes sense. The narrative doesn't make sense. You know, the narrative they got doesn't. If you actually invest, it doesn't make sense. It's full of lies and holes. That just, the only thing that could happen is somebody's been supplanted at a certain point. I don't know what point or how long this has been going on, but I surmise it's not new at all.
Well, I don't know if you heard the show last week. I talked about it extensively last week.
I was listening,
Yeah.
and you confirmed what I had been believing the whole time.
Yeah, I can prove it. Yeah, it's closely
who are these
related to
people?
me. It's
Who are
very
these? 'Cause I
closely
know
related to me. Huh?
Schwarzkopf is brown. Like when they split up Africa, everybody thinks people sitting at that table were white, but from what I've seen, is half those family crests are brown. The Germans, the French, the well, the Spanish weren't there yet,
All
but I
of
mean, all
those
these.
family crests are.
Mhm.
It ain't half, it's all of them.
And it ain't changed.
Nope.
Ain't nothing changed. They just
It's
put a different face in
it's
there.
never
We're
changed.
several generations later, so we don't know. We know what we've been told, but when you investigate, what you've been told does not make sense at all, unless what you just described is what's happening.
And the Pope is still praying to a so-called black Madonna
Right,
and
right,
the black Jesus.
right. And
Well, that's what
these
they've been
so-called black
taught.
people,
That's where they're getting their power from. They know who has the power. They have learned the hierarchy of power on the land. So they've been taught this, and they're mimicking their their puppets. They're mimicking their puppet heads, telling them and teaching them how to rule and how to govern. They came out of the cave with nothing. You have to remember this. They didn't have names, they didn't have anything, and they had to be taught everything. So, knowing what I know, I knew they couldn't have had a hand up on us because they didn't know anything. They had all of this is going to be coming out soon in the literature and the books and stuff that I'm writing. But they have been props. So it's the same thing going on today as it has always been. We have been under the greatest illusion ever known to man.
Justinian deception.
We're dealing with the wickedest of the wicked and deceit. We are no longer dealing with them. This is why they come for me every day, because they know that I'm on to them and I am in the line. I was born in the line of fire and I didn't even know it. These people been knowing the job and the task that I came here to do before I even knew it. They have astrologers. They study charts. They study people. They've been, you ever heard them say how they have followed families for years? Like they followed Martin Luther King's family. They've been following my family for years. They know every family that was attached to the empire. And that's why